Welcome to another episode of the You Only Live Once Life and Business Innovation Style Meditations, Yummy Conversations, where I, honey, bring you yummy conversations so that you can stay yummy in your body, connected to your heart and your soul and in your business and your life. Today's topic is on failures. The fear of failure for successful women, especially when it comes to what your heart and what your soul is calling you. So you're feeling a little bit numb right now. You're feeling like you're searching for something. You're scrolling through social media. You're accomplishing things, or you have accomplished many things in your life, and yet they don't fully satisfy you, and you're just on to the next thing, and you're filling your schedule super busy, or you were doing that, and now you're in a space where there's suddenly a little bit of calm, a little bit of space. It maybe still be chaotic, and you're just like, I'm still aching, right? You're feeling that ache, that pain, and you're just feeling, okay, you know what? It kind of sucks, but I really want to find a solution on how to get through to identifying what it is that I really want to create next, and then B, like, what is this block that is this failure, fear, expectations, overachievement, all these different pieces that I need to get past in order to have that first iteration or have that born into the world from inside of me. So the first thing, actually, when you're afraid or when you are stopped in your tracks from birthing out something that is truly something that excites you and that lights you up, and that you know that you're put on this earth to do exactly this because all of your experiences has kind of culminated and to be in this space. The first thing is clarity, right? Like, do you have that clarity on what it is that you want to manifest, what it is that you want to bring into the world? So for some people, yes, you do. And you probably do. And that's why you have the fear of failure now coming through. So congratulations if you do. And if you haven't yet, there's another video on visualizing your biggest vision of highest service of everything that you've already accumulated, all your skill sets, all your degrees, all your achievements, and where does that put you? So it's in a vision video in one of my videos on this channel. And then the second part of it is about identifying that fear of failure. Where is it coming from, and what is it stopping you to do? So if you're finding that, you know what, this thing, actually, I can launch it into the world, is it the fact that you feel like it's not good enough right now at the moment? Is it the fact that you feel like you're going to launch it into the world and there will be nobody who's picking it up? Do you have an attachment to the idea if you launch it into the world and you want millions of people or hundreds of people or 10, 20 people picking it up? What is it that you're afraid of? Are you afraid of people looking at it and judging it and saying, oh, look, she's not doing such a great job with that. Like, why does she even bother? Or is it about putting yourself out there? Is it about feeling like you really need it to be perfect? Is it about, there's so many things. So what is it about? So if you can dig deep within and really connect with that feeling of what is stopping you from creating it and continuing it and continuing it and continuing it and feeding it to life, then you really understand, okay, what is stopping? Maybe sometimes it's unclearness, which we addressed. And the second thing is these belief systems in your head that may make this a way bigger deal than what it needs in order for it to start interacting with the world. This idea. There's so many clients that I've had that once they got clear on their vision and once they understood all the roadblocks coming from family pressure, coming from expectation from self, from expectation from colleagues, expectation from imaginary people on the outside, once all these different psychological, emotional, overthinking thoughts were removed, then you're able to really feel free to create and continuously create and iterate on this process. So understand what is it that lights you up? Really connect with that goal and really connect with that project, really connect with that creative energy, and then see, okay, like what's the first thing that I can do to put it out into the world, or what is it that I still need? Maybe it's about, oh, I still need this, I still need that, I still need some certifications, I still need more education, I still need this, So what is it that you're afraid of to take that next step to launch it? And then the second thing is, what is it that you actually want? So another reason why people are afraid, or they're scared of the fear of failure, is because this fear of failure is actually one of many, 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 many different potential reasons of what's stopping in your tracks, right? And the second thing that we want to talk about is, when you're analyzing and when you're just tuning into the fear of failure, you also want to see what is the result of this failure. Because when you're so afraid of it, it stops you and you end up not taking any step forward, or you take a step forward and this always holds you back. So every step that you push yourself and you push yourself and you push yourself to take, this holds you back. So the second step is to really understand, okay, if this failure is to come true and you truly failed, what's gonna happen? And I say this with a lot of compassion, right? And I say this with a lot of understanding that, yes, if you failed and you did something that was truly meant to be yours to do, and that you truly felt called to do, and you just knew that you didn't, like, this was going to give you freedom, this was going to give your people freedom, the people who you can see the support, your contribution, this is going to support that goal and those people and that contribution, and it fell on its face and flopped. What would that actually mean for you, right? And does it mean that you have failed? Does it mean that you are a laughing stock? Does it mean that everything you've done is wasted? Like, what is it actually telling you about yourself if you actually failed in it? So if you trace the conversation of, if you were to launch something that truly mattered to you and you failed in it, and what the conversation happens between you and yourself. I mean, everyone else can talk to you about it and judge you about it, and maybe they will, maybe they won't, who knows, right? But the more important thing is, which ones do you take in, and which ones are judging yourself over and over again 24/7 after that happens. And so when you can hear all of those conversations that are happening and really, really look at it, you can realize that this is really, really painful. and I know this because, especially if you are a high achiever and you're ambitious, and especially if something matters so much to you, it is very likely that the conversations in your heart and in your head will be so much more intense and sharp and debilitating than they would be. So of course you're afraid, because what if this means nobody's gonna trust you again, or nobody's going to see you in that light and recognition that you want and feel that you deserve? What if, what if, what if? So that's called the what if monster. So as you explore these, you get to face these fears, and you get to face, like, what if that were to come true? And where does that lead you? And you will notice as you're going through this, like, take a sheet of paper out and write, what if this, what if this, what if this, what if this? Write down all the worst case scenarios that you can think of. And then on the other side of that paper, draw a line down the paper. On the other side of that paper, connect with that loving, wise, truer version of yourself. If you were to talk to yourself as if you were a loving mother, loving parent to your offspring, your loved one. And how would you have that conversation, right? Would you be as strict? Would you be as mean? Would you be as intense? Or would you be more encouraging and know that failure is feedback, right? And so the third thing, after exploring fully like what failure looks like and facing that, then it's looking at about, okay, is this still worth it to do? You know, like how can I still do this? There's so many times, like the bigger the fear is, the more important it is for you to do this. And there's only one thing that is really suitable for you to do in this world. And it can come in the form of a project at the moment. It can come in the form of an idea at the moment. But you know deep in your heart what that thing is. You know that there is a thing, even if you can't wrap your head around what that might be. Or you just know exactly which project I'm talking about that's resonating with you right now. What is that first step that you can do to take it into the world? Who is it supposed to affect? Or who is it helping? Who is it supporting? And think about the person on the other end receiving what it is that you're launching and how much they're gonna need it, right? And how much better their lives are going to be when they're able to receive it. So see it as a gift. And so the third step is see it as a gift and see it as a way for you to share what you have with the world. And of course, as it goes into the world and interacts with the world, it'll change, right? Just like how when you birth a child into the world, it doesn't stay the same when it is a baby versus when it's a teenager and an adult. And so does your project. Your project will start evolving and interacting with the world. And maybe this is the second or third time that you're birthing this forth. And let it happen, all right? So these are 3 ways to combat the fear of failure, especially when it comes to your creative project, when it comes to your soul project, your heart project, or something that you truly want to see into the world. And even if you're a business owner right now, or even if you're someone who's already halfway or many years into this, what is that iteration of the next version of this project or this work that you've been working on to be even more of service, that may be a little bit on edge and not following the same rules as you were launching it in the last time you did? All right, so if there's anything today that you take away, it's take action in spite of the fear of failure and be compassionate to the part of you that is and was in fear. All right? If you want to know more about this, we're doing lots of little meetups and conversations on resistance to action. And I'll put the links down below for you to reach out and either attend one of the sessions. And I also have one call this week that I will personally help that happen for you. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Mwah.